Alright guys, hey, welcome back here. Another day of working on the truck. Today I'm gonna take out the fuel tank. I was gonna originally take out the rear end first, but you know, while there's a rear end in it with tires on it, I just think it's gonna be easier to get this fuel tank off the way it is, you know. So that's my plan anyway. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do it. I think what I really want to do is, well, basically disconnect everything. I shouldn't say disconnect, I should say take these out of the frame here, because these kind of just pop right out. Those just clip out, and you know, the fuel lines are in good shape, so I wonder if I can just take them off as one whole piece with the tank. I think I might try that first and see how that works, because I think that might be easier. I think I just have one wire here. Just gonna unplug that wire, and that goes to the harness that goes out back. So that's, I'm gonna try to take the tank out with all the lines and everything at one shot. So let me get started. All right, so I'm gonna start by taking these fuel lines off. There's a couple spots up here I think I can get off with the tool here. And they're just pushed into the frame, so that one might be good, but it might be broken too. So, but this one came right out easily. Just put that in there and took that out. But this lower thing here is actually for all your wiring that goes out to pretty much everything out back, your tail lights, the fuel gauge, and all that nonsense. So I'm just going to take that off of here because I'm not ready to swap that over yet. So that's going to stay where it is. The brake line on the bottom here, I'm going to just leave that because I don't need the brake lines because getting new ones anyway. So let's just keep on taking this thing apart here. Hopefully it comes out without breaking it. It's kind of old, but you never know. I really want to kind of try to save them. I gotta look around, see if like the Mopar sites sell replacements of these things here. I mean, that one's good. If they come out all good, then I'm all right, but I gotta see if I can find some replacements maybe. So that one came out good too. That's all it is. Pretty good idea. Just pops into the frame and you're good to go. But I'm gonna just put that back on here, I think. Just so I know where everything goes, you know. Take stuff off and I just never put it back on and I forget where it goes, so let's just leave that where it is. Now my next problem is the fuel tank itself, I believe, because all these lines going back to the fuel tank. So I'm gonna get this fuel tank dropped down. I think it's almost empty. It's probably less than a quarter tank. So it's gonna have some weight to it, but I think I'm gonna do that first and try to drop that down and take all this out at one time. That's all I can do. We'll try it. All right, so what is it? It's a 15 millimeter, but I'm gonna put some PB Blaster on it, just because they're pretty rusty. So let's get them soaked down a little bit, and I know the one in the back will probably come off easier because I replaced that one years ago. I didn't replace the front one because it was still good, but I don't think they're gonna come off that easily. I don't have a socket long enough. Wow, man, that thing's on there. That thing's on there. Yeah, I gotta find a socket, so hang on one second. All right, so I'm gonna try the old impact wrench because we'll see. If they break, they break. I really don't care. Just get some new ones, right? get something to support that fuel tank so I can get that out. Alright, well, I've got the sensor disconnected from the fuel tank, which is right here. Pretty simple, just push that red tab over, pull it out. That's it. Let me take off this. I got a floor jack under it with the piece of wood on it. I don't know what else to do with it. The tank is not that full. It's pretty low on it. What I remember. So let me get this other one out here and just see what happens. Hopefully this won't fall out, but it might. You never know. Let's just try it. This one's a little more difficult. Alright, this one's being a little stubborn. I think that one there, it's a little bit longer of a stud, so this one, it's just not quite reaching it. Yeah, it's a little off. So let's try the old wrench. Try this wrench here, see what happens. Yeah, I don't have a long enough socket for that one, so that's kind of a bummer, but whatever. Nah, it's gonna strip it. It feels like it's gonna strip it already, so. Let me see if I can find a longer socket. I don't know if I have one or not. Alright, so what I did is I took the socket off here, pretty much hammered it down here to make it fit, and put a little extension out here, and this should work. Worked out pretty good. That worked out really good. So, yeah, that's all loose now. I'm going to try to let the jack down to see if it comes down at all. See what happens. It might go as planned or it might go really bad. Don't know yet. One strap off. Let's see if I can get this one off. Yeah, so well, that's it for that. It should just drop right down. Famous last word, right? Just make sure we're not hung up on anything here. This is out. That's unhooked. We do have this harness here that goes to the back. I didn't unhook, so let's take that out of there. That's good. Put that back here. We got a brake line I really don't need either, so we'll get rid of that. Alright, that's the brake line. This was replaced probably 15 years ago, and it did an alright job, but it kind of put it all over the place, but it worked. So I think that's it. Let's the straps. I know the straps are still in there, and you got to take them out, but I don't care about the straps. They're garbage anyway, so I don't think they're gonna last too much longer. So bend them out of the way and drop it down. That's the plan. Just let it down a little bit more. Yeah, now one last, the back strap here, it's a newer strap, so it's a lot stronger than the other ones. So it's a little bit harder to come off. Try pushing that in. I think we're good. Set it down a little more. Well, not too bad, I guess, right? That's all that. Brake lines I don't care about. Disconnect those. Yeah, so it's pretty much out. Now, the only other problem I have is, no, I could probably slide the tank out this way. That. Get that strap out of here. Oh, this thing's shot. This is the original one, actually. I mean, it's not in bad shape, but it's definitely weak. So into the scrap pile. The one back here, I don't care about either because put a new one. All right. All right, well, give me a few minutes. I don't want to bore you guys. Let me get the strap out of here. I'm going to see if I can take the thing out like this and get it out. So I'll be right back. All right, so fuel tank's out. It went actually really good, except I dragged it out. I lifted the back of the truck up pretty high to pull the tank that way under the axle. And when I was doing that, I wasn't paying attention and I broke off my fuel lines off the tank here. So, yeah, it's just how things go for me. So something else to replace. I really wasn't planning on replacing those at all, but yeah, what are you gonna do? But that's all out. I got the lines right here. So I don't know if you need all new lines on it, or can you fix the ends on it? I don't really know. I'm gonna say it probably needs new lines. So let me look into that a little bit, but that's out anyway. And, I'm happy with that. Now I can start working. Actually, the wiring harness I'll probably leave to more last, you know. So not too worried about that. That's just easy to take off and put back on. But the rear end, that's next on the list. So let me keep on going. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to save these. It's kind of like a washer, but this holds this thing. I'm not sure what you call them, but I'm gonna try to save this. I got these long needle nose pliers here, and I think I can back this thing off without damaging the thing, you know. I thought it would kind of just unscrew a little easier, but let's just see if we can get it off. If we can get it off, that's good. I don't have to buy any new ones. But I know I've seen these at, I think MoparPartsGiant.com. This is where I got a bunch of my like OEM parts from, and they pretty much got everything still on the website there. So if it works and it comes off, that's great. But if it's going to be more of a hassle, I'll just cut it and take it off. I kind of want to try to save them. Give me 1 minute while I try to get this off. All right, so unscrewing it, it's not going to work. So I'm just going to I mean, they're only meant to go on one way. They're probably not meant to be taken off. So I'm just gonna try my best to not break them too much, but yeah, I could probably bang that down. It'll probably be fine. So let me get the other two off, and then we'll go from there. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this, but I think it'll be all right. I don't think many people actually take these things off, you know. I might be the only idiot that does. What are you gonna do? Got a plastic tab on here too. I really don't want to break that off, you know. All right, let me get some better pliers, and I think I'm just gonna rip it off. All right, so that one finally came off. Yeah, I mean, I could probably fix them, but they do sell new ones. I think that's probably the way I'm gonna go. I think I saw something similar to that, actually at Tractor Supply. Alright. Yeah, that one broke right off, so what are you gonna do, right? What are you gonna do? No big deal, we'll fix it later. Now, let's see how bad. Let's see, is it worth saving this thing, or should I just buy a new one? That's how it looks. Got some rot on it, no doubt about it. Yeah, I would say we're gonna get a new one. So it's not even worth putting any money into this because it's all rotted. Well, I mean, I expected that anyway because the truck was all rotted too. Okay, that's good for that. Let's start cleaning it. All right, so I'm just gonna blow it off with some air first, get some of the big junk off it, and then I'll use a Simple Green on it. And Simple Green actually works really good, so just blow off some of the stuff on here. Alright, so that's good. At least that's get some of the heavy stuff off, and now I'll get the Simple Green. We'll soak it down and wipe it off, and good to go. Alright, let's get it cleaned up here. What I noticed here too is the filler port on this thing here. It has a gasket on it. The gasket's totally shot. I mean, I can probably maybe get a new gasket for it, but I have to see what the cost is for just a new piece of plastic versus trying to make a gasket for it. So I'll have to figure that out later. But for now, let's get this thing cleaned up. Get some of that Simple Green going. This stuff is amazing. It works great, I think, you know. Some people don't like it, but I like it. Alright, so let that soak in for a minute. I got a brush too. I'm not sure if I can use it, but I think I'll just try it out. See if it does anything. Probably not going to do much, but This tank's a 35-gallon tank, which I was surprised. I see some trucks, they run smaller tanks, but maybe because it's a long bed, it's got a bigger tank. I'm not really sure. So it's a 35-gallon tank. So it's cleaning up pretty nice. So I guess why put a dirty tank back in a good frame, right? Clean it up the best we can, and it's definitely gonna be better than what it was, that's for sure. There's still probably gotta be at least 5 gallons of fuel in here, or maybe more. Just trying to pick it up, the thing just wants to tip on me. A little heavier than it looks. But it definitely makes an improvement. Definitely looks better. There's some spots here that there's some rust on it. I mean, it's plastic, but it's just rust from the shield, you know? I don't think that's gonna come off. I'm not gonna put a ton of time into it. I think that's all right. All right, let me spin this tank around and we'll do the other side. All right, so this is the other side. And right here where the tank straps were, there's a lot of heavy rust. Yeah, I had to really chip it out to get in. There's still some in there, but I'll see if I can get a little file or something. Not a file, maybe a small scraper. I can scrape more of that junk out of there. But yeah, that'd be all right. I'm sure a lot of people are saying, why are you going to all this trouble? It's just a fuel tank. Well, it's the way I am, I guess. What are you gonna do, right? You got a couple minutes to spare to clean it up and put it back in. It'll look a lot better. I was thinking about buying a new tank, but there's nothing wrong with this one. This one's fine. Just got to replace the fuel pump on it, obviously. But other than that, these hoses are in good shape. There's nothing wrong with these hoses, so I'll keep these too. Just give them a good cleaning, right? I thought that was oil on there. It's actually some sort, probably paint from the factory when they must have painted them, I guess. I thought that was like diesel that might have just dried up on there, but no, it's not. It's actually paint. So that's all right. Clean it up. So. I bought new fuel tank straps for it also. I was trying to find some stainless steel ones, but I couldn't find any stainless steel straps for this year truck anyway. I see some out there for the 2nd gen trucks, but I haven't seen any for the 3rd gens. So I got them in the mail the other day, and they came in just raw metal. So I painted those quick and painted them black, so they should look pretty nice. So this looks pretty good actually. Pretty happy with that. It's not all good anymore. Actually, I'll do the bottom of it. If I get that in a minute, I'll just lift up and do the bottom. So I think we're pretty good. Yeah, I like it. All right, on to the next thing.